Greetings and welcome back to F1 25 and welcome back to the paddock here in our career mode, and welcome to round 3 of the Formula 1 World Championship. And today we are going to be racing around the very famous Suzuka circuit, and that is of course meaning that we are in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. And this one is one of many special Grand Prix this season, this obviously being our title sponsors home Grand Prix, that being Toyota Gazoo Racing. So we need to have a good result here today. And speaking of good results, at the moment in the championship we're sitting comfortably in P7 ahead of Andrea, Kimi Antonelli. We are on 14 points. Meanwhile, Haas as well, 14 points in the Constructors' Championship. We're sitting 5th in that championship. So we're doing quite well for ourselves in our first couple of races as a Formula 1 driver. We're the only Haas driver to have scored points so far. But there's not much more to say. We are running a special livery, that has to be said though, for this one, and I'm pretty sure you will see it as we get into the qualifying session ahead of us. But yeah, there's not much more to say. We're not really bringing any upgrades, unfortunately. The upgrade that we had planned for this Grand Prix unfortunately failed, and we had to push it back for, I believe, Saudi Arabia, so there's still going to be some time before we receive any upgrades. But apart from that, I think, yeah, practice has been done. So let's get into qualifying, shall we? And before we get underway, I would highly encourage you, if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe.
This is a circuit where sometimes
and here we go.
You see something truly exceptional behind the wheel. We've seen it from Vettel. We've seen it from Verstappen. It is a remarkable place to watch a car at speed. Welcome to Suzuka. We're qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix.
And there you can see it, the beautiful Sakura cherry blossom livery that Haas ran for this event in real life as well. So, of course, we are going to be running that as well here in Japan for this very special occasion. Just quickly gonna tinker a little bit with the setup here. No real troubles here. We shouldn't have any problems in qualifying to get out of Q1, and I can see there is rain forecasted for the latter part of qualifying, so that could be quite interesting. But here in Q1 it doesn't look like there's any rain forecasted. The skies do look a little bit gloomy though, so I think we're better off with just getting out on track.
That's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
As quickly as possible and post a fast lap before any rain starts to fall. And hopefully for the first time this season, it would be very nice to have both cars into Q2 at the end of this one. Ollie just ahead of us. So, and he's been doing quite well, to be fair, in practice. He was up there together with us, so hopefully our teammate can maybe string together a good weekend here in Japan, and this could be the start of his season. Unfortunately, he hasn't scored point just yet. He was very close in China, but yeah, as I said, unfortunately, still yet to score any points. But it would be the perfect venue to do that here today. So let's see what he can do. Let's see what we can do. As the season is well and truly underway, and we have had some good race results over the course of the first 2 race weekends. In this season we've scored points in every single race scenario, and hopefully that is a trend we can continue here today at Suzuka. I would absolutely love to continue that. But last time out in China it was very difficult. And I do have to say, Suzuka, while it's not a track that I completely despise, much like China, I do have to say that it's not my particular favorite track. But with that being said, let's begin our first qualifying lap here in Q1. See what we can do. And into turn 1, this long, sweeping right-hander, and then the S's. Very tricky part. You have to carry so much speed, but not too much speed. And then this very tricky corner right here, but we get it done quite nicely. And then the two very fast corners here. Oh, and we run very wide there into the first two Degner corners. Or the first of the two Degner corners, should I say. That was not optimal at all. But we're going to have to continue and post a banker, because we never know when the rain is going to start falling. So we have to be on our toes. And unfortunately, I don't think this lap is going to do anything for us.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
We're going to break off this lap. We're going to go into the pits, try and change over to a new set of tyres, and we go again. Because this lap is not going to be anywhere good enough. And if we want any hopes of potentially beating the rain, we need to be on our toes here. So into the pits we go. Unfortunate first attempt. It is what it is. You can't win them all. And now we're just going to have to be a little bit quick with the tyre change here. And then we should be good to go for a second attempt. But very unfortunate one there into the first of the two Degners. It's a very fast corner, to be fair, and you have to carry so much speed. You barely have to lift on the throttle. And yeah, this time it didn't quite work out for us. There's a lot of activity out on track. Let's see if we can beat
All set, we're ready to go. So
the traffic out of the pits. Otherwise we're just going to have to filter in where there is room. But I do think the majority of the grid should maybe be on their in laps. It's not going to be too much of a problem. But out again here. Let's see what we can do. And we're going to have to be a little bit wary of the traffic. Albon there going past us. We have a V-carb behind us. We have both V-carbs behind us, actually.
And that's P13, P13.
Currently down in P13, as we have not posted a lap yet. We're going to get out of the way here of the first of the two V-carbs. That is Liam Lawson. He is not on a fast lap, so he lets us past instantly. I don't know whether he held up his teammate there, but that's not going to be my problem, what they do to each other. So we're just going to keep going. Gonna try and let them past here. Both of them. And there they go. Hadjar and Lawson getting past us. And we found a little bit of a gap here in front of the Red Bull behind us and behind the two V-carbs. So this should be fine. They're probably heading back to the pits, both of them. Should have a clear track ahead of us once we come around to begin another attempt. But let's see. Into the final corner, we're going to let the Red Bull pass. That is Max Verstappen. We're not going to get the best run here, but that's just how things go sometimes. But over the line, let's begin another attempt here in qualifying. See if we can do this one a little bit better. Into turn one, that wasn't quite as clean as I would have liked. But oh well, whoa, a little bit of a slide there into turn 3 or 4, I'm not quite sure. A little bit of a slide there as well. It's not too bad. And then into the Degner corners. A little bit better, but still not optimal. Oy, and into the gravel there. That is not a good look. And Verstappen has made a mistake. Oy, and that is going to mess with our lap as well.
And we've been pushed down to P20.
So qualifying not going our way here, unfortunately. That is just how things go sometime. But now we blast down towards 130R. On the last corner, the Casio triangle chicane. And after that, we have a short run to the start-finish line. Not an optimal chicane here as well. Bit of a messy lap this one, and we have no DRS. There we go, P18 only. Oh dear, that is not good.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
So we are on the back foot here in Japan. And this one looks to be a little bit more tricky. We are just ahead of Colapinto, with behind Hulkenberg and Stroll, and crucially behind our teammate as well. So this one is going to be a little bit more difficult, it seems. To be fair though, we did make a few mistakes on the previous lap.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so rain shouldn't quite hit before the end of Q1. That is good. That means we're going to have another attempt here. But yeah, we did make a couple of mistakes on our lap, especially into the hairpin here, where Verstappen as well made a bit of a blunder. So let's see if we can better our lap. But we do need a third attempt, which is really annoying. And that is going to make progressing further
Less than one
more
lap
difficult.
of fuel left now, the tank's pretty much empty. We've just been pushed down into P18.
Might we be out before we even get to Q2? That would be quite the turnaround for us after the first 2 races of this season. It wouldn't be so nice. Let's see where Oliver is sitting in the ranking at the moment. So he's not currently in P16. He might be in P15, which in that case, at the moment, he would make it into Q2 for the first time this season. So let's see. And let's take a look at the times. Yeah, he's sitting in P15 just ahead of Lance Stroll. So he is currently on the brink of making it through to his first Q2 session of the season. Meanwhile, we have about 3/10 to find in order to beat our teammate. And to be honest, if we could get ahead of Alonso as well, that would be quite nice. We have just about 6 minutes remaining. We're gonna wait a little bit. Norris is out on track. I do not know why he's out there.
Okay, when you're ready,
But
let's
regardless, let's make it out for what could potentially be our final attempt here in qualifying, depending on how this lap goes. We need to be out early. The skies are getting darker, which is not a good sign. Hopefully the track hasn't lost all of its grip. That would really be a shame. But yeah, final attempt here in Q1 to try and get through. So let's see what we can do. if this one is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's not the track we want to be fighting an uphill battle at, with it being Toyota's home race. We want to showcase our prowess. But sometimes such is life, unfortunately. But let's not cry over spilled milk just
P18.
yet. We haven't finished qualifying just yet, so there's still plenty of time to find improvements and get that spot booked into Q2. And hopefully we're going to have a clear track ahead of us. So let's see. Final attempt here in Q1, regardless. Let's see what we can do. Let's be a little bit more deliberate with our ERS usage. Hopefully to turn one much better. Not significantly better, but still a better. We are just shy of half a tenth up.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap or that's qualifying over for us.
I am aware, Mark. Don't worry. And we are catching up to Pierre Gasly here. Heading into Spoon Corner. Is he going to get out of the way? Yeah, no problems there from the Frenchman. Thank you very much. And we're going to catch one of the Williams as well. Oh, you big snap there. And that is the Williams of... I don't know who that is. That is Carlos Sainz. Heading into 130R. We do take a little bit of grass there, unfortunately. It seems to be all good. And through the final 2 corners. This is a much better lap from us. And we make it into P7, so a decent final attempt there from us. And that should be good enough to make it into Q2. So we do manage to clinch it in the final, on the final lap here.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
And that was much, much needed. Now we can just relax. We're ahead of both Mercedes drivers. So we should be more than good enough. The annoying part though is that we don't have any fresh set of tires in Q2. So that could be a problem. Especially if we're looking to make it through to Q3. But let's see what we can do, and we are running all over the place here. Taking way too much grass on. There's still plenty of time for the other drivers to improve. There is 10 seconds remaining in this session. So let's see what the others find, if they find any improvements. Albon found an improvement. He moves ahead of us. So good on the Williams there. Let's see if there's any more improvements. Or if we've made it through. Sainz is just behind us. That is very nice to see. That always gives a little bit of a buffer. And into the pits we come. Let's see what happens in terms of qualifying. We are done for Q1. We should have made it through, realistically. So I'm not too unsure of that. Question is though, did Ollie make it through as well? And will we have 2 Haas cars in Q2 for the first time this season? Unfortunately, I do doubt it, but regardless, it would be nice and much appreciated. But here we go. Q1 done and finished, and unless Ollie is in that P15, which he is not, unfortunately, that is Franco Colapinto. So Ollie once again out here in Q1, together with both Aston Martins, quite surprisingly. They've been running quite high up, so to see them exit here in Q1, that is quite the surprise. What is not so much of a surprise is both Kick Saubers not making it through. But yeah, we make it through on P8, just behind Albon and just in front of Sainz. Unfortunately, though, we did have to spend 3 sets of tyres to try and post that lap. So we are not going to have a fresh set of tyres in Q2. But with that being said, if we are quick with it, we shouldn't need it. Let's see which tyre set. This tyre set is used the least amount.
Check's complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
And with rain looming over Suzuka, it's just about getting out there quickly and posting a dry lap, because I don't think this session is going to stay dry for the entirety. But here we go. Others thinking like ourselves. And you can see the grey skies hanging over the circuit. And it's just a question about time for when we get the first drops of rain. If we can post a lap time on dry tyres before it starts raining, that would be very nice. That could book our place into Q3, sorry, not Q2. So we need to be effective and maybe drive a little bit more of a cautious qualifying lap. We're going to be fast on the out lap as well, though. Not wasting any time. Let's see here. George Russell is the man we are currently tailing here. Let's try and not get too close to him. We are. We should have one shot here on soft tires. That should be all we are getting. We're going to back off ever so slightly here, as to not catch too much up to George Russell, and then we're going to begin our flying lap here in Q2. Let's see what we can do. We need to be effective with this one. Into turn 1, what's it gonna look like? It hasn't started raining just yet, but you can definitely feel that the track is a little bit less grippy than it was in Q1. So the cold temperatures already showing. Oosh, and we touched the curb there. That's not optimal. Yeah, there's a little bit less grip here. The colder temperatures making it so that the grip is slowly disappearing. But we're just going to have to do our best. The V-carb behind is closing up though, so that usually doesn't bode well, unfortunately. But out of the hairpin, let's blast a little bit of ERS here. And then into Spoon corner, this double apex corner. The second most famous corner here at Suzuka, probably. The most famous one coming up just here. 130R. Oscar Piastri with the fastest lap time. Let's see what we can do into the final 2 corners here. Let's not make a mock of this. Oh, a little bit of a snap there, but it's all good. And heading to the line. P3 behind George Russell. Alright, is that going to be good enough? I doubt it. But hopefully, Lando Norris, fastest lap. Everyone who's posted the lap time so far have gone in ahead of us.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
But look at that, the rain has started to fall.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
And Albon is behind us, so we might actually have played this perfectly. And even though we're not the fastest out on track, we might have played this to perfection. As I don't think there's going to be that many improvements from here on out with the rain falling. So we're just going to have to be careful, nurse the car back home. It's not quite wet enough for intermediates, I think. But both Williams drivers behind us on their first attempt. And with the rain falling, I can feel the grip starting to disappear. So this might be our saving grace here in Q2. And it could not have come at a better time. We're currently P7 behind George Russell, but I highly doubt that anyone is going to find any improvements. And we just need to make it to the pits without damaging our car. And we should be set for Q3, which most likely is going to be on intermediate tires, since the weather has rapidly decreased into rain. So luck on our side here in Japan so far, it seems. And when we don't have the pace, it's always nice to have a little bit of luck. It is much appreciated, to say the very least, when these things do happen. And now we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're not gonna post another lap, unfortunately. But if this ends up being one of those scenarios where we might actually make it through, let's have a look and see who's behind. Tsunoda behind, Antonelli behind, Colapinto with a slow lap. Lewis Hamilton has not posted a lap. Oh no, so Hamilton, Antonelli and Tsunoda, all three running for top teams. They could be out here in Q2. That is quite the surprise. Both Williams currently inside the top 10 and Pierre Gasly on the absolute outskirts of top 10. Currently holding on to that last Q3 spot at the moment. Ooh-wee, if this ends up coming good for him, he is going to be very, very happy about the situation. But let's wait and see. Things could still change. Hamilton and, is that Antonelli? Along with Tsunoda, they are all of them are out on track at the moment. Question is, Hamilton is on intermediate tires though. So it's very unlikely that he's going to post a faster lap time than what we have set. So I think, yeah, Tsunoda currently in P11 out on softs. Is he on a fast lap though? I don't think he is. No, it very much looks like that the Japanese home favorite is heading back to the pits. What about Antonelli? Also looks like he is going back to the pits. And Colapinto, Lawson, Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton is on his outlap at the moment, so he's going to try and post a lap time, see what he can do with the intermediates. I highly doubt that he is going to improve anywhere close enough to anything that is going to be worth it. And you could already see first sector, he is just about 3 seconds down. Yep, he is so far off. We have fluked our way into Q3 on this one. It comes at the expense, though, of Andrea, Kimi Antonelli, Yuki Tsunoda, and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton has a 5-position grid drop, though. I wonder what that is for. Whether he has taken a new engine component ahead of this weekend, or whether that is due to a collision during qualifying. Oh dear, so he's going to be starting all the way down in P20 for this Grand Prix. We've made it through to Q3 once again. This time a little bit of a fluke. due to the rain. But we take it. We definitely take it. And I believe this session, yeah, it is intermediates. I think we might just go out as quickly as possible.
Track is wet right now. Feel your way around the conditions before you start pushing the car.
Before the conditions start to degrade further than what they already have. And you can see there, Russell thinking the same thing. So he's already out on track as well. Same with one of the Williams drivers. We're going to have to be a little bit careful here, see what the track feels like. I haven't driven this track in the wet, so I don't know how this is going to feel. But we're just going to have to do our best. The fact that we're already in Q3 is a bit of a miracle. We did not look like we have the pace to be here. But you have to take what you are given, and it looks like Norris wants to get past here, so we're going to let him past. Oh, and Verstappen was there as well, did not see him. But yeah, we're just going to take it nice and easy on our first lap. We can always go for a second attempt. Oh, as we absolutely nailed the brake marker there. But we're probably going to have to do it on this lap, considering that the weather doesn't look like it's going to get any better throughout Q3. The race, though, is set to be dry, so there shouldn't be any problems there. And of course we're running a dry setup as well, so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult, unfortunately. But I think everyone is in the same boat regarding that part of the strategy. So there's no advantage for anyone, it seems. But let's see what we can do here in Q3. No DRS, so we don't have to worry about that. But beginning the first lap here in qualifying, or in the Q3 should I say, into turn 1. Oh, we've massively overshot it. Yeah, that's that attempt over. We're gonna let Russell and the others past. We've absolutely botched that attempt. Now we just have to make it around, see if we can...
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Let's go into the pits and get another set of tires. Because that was not a good look at all. But yeah, Suzuka, as I said, much like Shanghai, which we visited last time out, not amongst my favorite circuits, even though Suzuka, I mean, I like it more than I like Shanghai because of the history that the Japanese Grand Prix has with this circuit. And it is a nice track once you nail it, like a lap here. But it is by no means one of my favorites. So we're just gonna have to survive this weekend. I don't think it's gonna be difficult to say whether points are gonna be on the cards here, but obviously hope for it. But we're also gonna give it our best shot. But with both Antonelli and Tsunoda starting behind us on the grid, I mean, I highly doubt that we're gonna... Depends if we can stay ahead of the Williams pairing. If we can do that, then I think points might be on the board at the end of this one. But it is going to be difficult. It's very much going to be difficult. But we're for sure going to give it our best shot. We're not going to give away free positions. We're going to fight for every single track position that we can, and then we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, first attempt here in Q3, not really gone to plan.
Standing by.
So let's try again with a new set of intermediate tires. And now everyone has posted their first attempts. So everyone should be heading back into the pits. Gasly ahead of both Williams drivers. That has to be the surprise though. Hadjar all the way up in P6 in the V-Carb, doing quite well for himself. Maybe showing Red Bull that they should consider whether Tsunoda is the man to keep, much like real life, and maybe consider promoting the Frenchman instead. So he's definitely doing himself a favor at the moment by out-qualifying Tsunoda at his home race. That is definitely not something that is going to go unnoticed, I feel. And even if he doesn't get promoted to the main Red Bull team, who's to say that someone else is not going to pick him up? We have seen crazier things in F1 career modes. One thing is for sure though, at the moment, we are very much punching above our weight in terms of our performances relative to our teammate. I do not know what is currently happening on the other side of the garage in our team, but Behrman is still yet to put together a decent weekend. He was close to doing something in China, but ultimately again a poor qualifying display ended up being something that cost him a lot of time, as we have 5 minutes to go here in qualifying. And I would love for Ollie to finally have a good race weekend, maybe score a couple of points, but at the moment it doesn't look very likely. Ooh, and into turn 1, still not ideal. But at least we make it through this time. And this track's significantly more difficult in the wet than it is in the dry. Especially the first sector. But we make it through in one piece. And that is probably the most important thing. Heading into Degner 2. And then we blast up towards the hairpin. Brake a little bit too early there, but it's better than overshooting. I doubt this is going to be anywhere close to anything. Whoa, we almost lose it there. Heading up towards Spoon Curve. And oh, we run very wide there. We don't get a track exceeding warning, but it's not going to do us any favors, that is for sure. This is going to be a very poor display here in Q3 through 130R. Whoa! Can we avoid the wall? Yeah, we do barely avoid the wall, but very, very unfortunate.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Pick up a little bit of damage. I do not know whether we can make it out again for another attempt. That is probably the closest we've had to like a major accident, apart from, well, we did have that one incident in Australia where we, coming out of the chicane, lost the car, but we managed to save it. We only lost a bit of our front wing. Similarly here, but I think that's going to do it for qualifying for us. I don't think we can make it out, unfortunately, but we'll give it a good shot. Let's see here. Yeah, half a minute of damage repairs. We're going to have to be quick with it.
Car repairs have set us back a little. Checks complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
Let's see if we can make it out. The game says insufficient time, but I mean, we can always give it a good shot. And we have 1:45. That is going to be right on the brink of actually being able to make it around. We're going to have to drive fast here. And make absolutely zero mistakes. This in itself, the outlap is going to have to be a qualifying lap in itself. I doubt we're going to make it around, but we're going to give it a try. Whoa, and we touch the grass there. We save it, but that's going to cost us valuable time. And unfortunately, I think that might have lost us the opportunity of actually qualifying here at Suzuka's Q3. And we're going to probably have to start P10 in this one. But let's see, there's still time. Through Spoon Corner. Loss of traction there. We have 20 seconds to go. No, I don't think this is going to be possible. This is not the way I wanted to end qualifying, but oh, well, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
But, yeah, no, not quite able to make it. There we go. We were so close, but unfortunately no time posted here in qualifying for us. We're going to start the race in P10.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry. We'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
And the 1:41 was the time to beat to try and make it up the rankings. We're going to start P10. I mean, it's not really that bad. So, but yeah, I would have liked to post a lap time in Q3. That would have been nice. But with that being said, it's still not the end of the world. But that does it for qualifying. And now we head into the race. I'm not quite sure how many laps there are in this race, but let's await and see. Here we go. We have 27 laps around Suzuka. It's set to be dry conditions, but with overcast. So, who knows? Maybe there will be a little bit of rain. It's never certain anything in terms of what the prediction is, but hopefully it's going to stay dry. But let's get into the race. Let's see if we can do something similarly to what we did in China when we had that brilliant race start. That would very much be appreciated if we could do something similar to that. That would be very nice indeed. So now we're just waiting for the game to load all of the assets, and then we are ready to get underway with round 3 of the Formula 1 World Championship here in this driver career mode. So let's see, what's the weather looking like? It's overcast, but it's not raining.
As of 2022, 12 champions have been crowned at the Japanese Grand Prix. Who will be tasting glory today at the flag? The lights go out in a few moments' time.
And look at those clouds. It looks very gloomy indeed. And obviously Suzuka being the only track on the calendar that loops over itself. So it's the only track that has what is called a figure 8 configuration. There was close to being another track added, but unfortunately it didn't come through. So let's see the grid here.
Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2.
And once again, very close out in front.
Norris, Russell, Oscar Piastri, and Hadjar.
Gasly, very highly.
Albon and Iceman.
In qualifying there.
Tsunoda, Antonelli, Franco Colapinto, and Lawson. Alonso, Behrman, Lance Stroll, and Nico Hülkenberg. Bortoleto. And Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. I love this moment in the weekend. Put us in their shoes right now.
And there we are, beautifully
you've got to
dressed
know, you've got to have
for the occasion.
Game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car.
Cherry blossoms.
Previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
So Sainz just ahead of us.
All right, this is Mark. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah,
We're further back than we hoped, I know, but we can still get a good result from here.
So the team thinks, for some reason, that we should go with a hard medium strategy. I'm not so sure. I think we're going to go with this one, but I might give it a little edit here. Go with the hard tires, maybe congest this a little bit, and then this we make maybe something like that. Could be worth it. Never able to say. I think we'll put it to that. That should be... It's very closely matched with this one. We're going to start on the mediums. I think that is the play to go by. Once again, the team thinks one extra lap of fuel. I mean, it's always nice to have, so let's get this race on the road. Like Sonoda, we are starting on the mediums. The two Williams drivers starting on the hards, and Antonelli on softs. So split strategies here in the midfield. That is nice to see. So we're not all just running the same strategy. That's going to be interesting going forward into the race, if this is going to be a two-stopper or a one-stopper. It very much does depend on a lot of things. Yeah, let's work the tires. Work a little bit of heat into those. And if we could get a good start, we could have a really good standpoint for the rest of the Grand Prix. If we could just find our rhythm. Our tire wear, I didn't mention this, but during practice, our tire wear for the first time this season was actually controllable. So, actually quite nice for once to actually have some control over the tire wear. And that is going to bode well for this race. Tires still do go off quite quickly, so I'm not expecting more than maximum of 10 laps on the mediums. But depending on how they feel going towards the end of the race, or coming towards the pit stop, we can either go in earlier, or we can maybe extend the stint a little bit. That is the beauty of it. That's why I didn't want to start on the hards.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
And no rain, according to Mark. So that is very nice. Whoa! We make a little bit of a mistake there. That is not nice. We touched the grass there. No one saw that. Absolutely no one saw that. Oh, let's not hit Sainz here. Or Albon, sorry. Yeah, a bit of a clumsy one there from me. I don't think we sustained any damage. So that is quite nice. And we're going to be starting on the inside this time. Heading into turn 1. I mean, depending on how we get off the line, that could either be a blessing or a curse. But regardless, we're going to have to deal with the situation as it is.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
So here we go, angled slightly
Keep an eye on
towards
the
the
lights.
middle.
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
And here we go. The 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix are set to go out. And we are racing here in Japan. We get a brilliant start compared to Sainz. Absolutely flying start here. And heading into turn 1. Whoa, Hadjar nearly taking our front wing off there. But we made up a couple of positions. Chaotic start, I think it was one of the Ferrari, or was it? I'm not sure which car it was. that had a bit of a oopsie into turn 1. But there was someone who ran wide. But yeah, we are at the moment up into P7, so a great start from us. Oh, slightly wide entry to the corner there.
Okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
But yeah, good start once again. And we are putting pressure on the back of Isack Hadjar already. And the V-Carb, does he have a defense? Not quite. So heading into Spoon corner. Ooh, do we stay within track limits? No, we're going to have to get that position back to the Frenchman. The car is a little bit more loose than it was during practice and qualifying. Could be down to the mediums not being totally warmed up just yet. We get a good run here on Hadjar. Oh, and he moves under braking, the Frenchman. That is not something that the FIA is going to be happy about. We get a warning there for the collision.
Okay, DRS is now available.
But now we make it past Hadjar. Heading into turn 1, we are up into P6. Now we just need to settle down, find our rhythm. See if we can break away from the pack. If that is possible. But a solid start to this race. I don't think we sustained any damage off our antics. Hopefully not. That would be very nice if that was not the case. Let's quickly take a look. It doesn't look like it. So we should be good for now. We are under pressure from Hadjar. Hadjar not letting this one go. He is on soft tires as well. So no wonder he is able to keep up with us at the race start. But his tires are going to fade quicker than ours. So we're just going to have to do the best we can at the moment. Luckily there's no DRS here. Heading through 130R. Hadjar loses out a little bit. Not by much, but just a tiny bit. I think we should be close enough. Are we close enough? No, not quite. Close enough to Piastri in front.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Unfortunately, we don't get the DRS. Whoa! A big mistake there from us. A little bit too much curb there. We lose 2 positions. Ah, that's not a good look. So we made 2 big mistakes at the beginning of this one. A little bit too greedy on the curbs there from me. And instantly we lose the positions that we already gained at the start. Now we need to regain composure here. Try and regain the lost time. See if we can catch back up to Sainz. No, that's Albon. It's not Sainz. Yeah, we are within striking distance of the Williams. Now we just need to stay there. He obviously also has the DRS, or is going to have the DRS on Hadjar. Once we come around to finish the lap. But we are sticking with him. Antonelli behind us has made up a couple of positions as well here on the start. So good to see from the Italian. Let's see if Albon is going to go for a move on Hadjar on into turn 1. We are right here though with them. So we have the DRS. No problems here. Let's see. Albon goes for the move on Hadjar into turn 1. Good stuff there from the Thai driver as he makes his way past the Frenchman and is now up into P6. Now we just need to try and stick with these two through this sector 1. Maybe recharge a little bit. Here we go. almost into the back of Hadjar there. That was very close. We have a lot more ERS here now than we had last time. Maybe we can string together an attack. We get a decent exit here. Let's see what is Hadjar up for. If we can get him just before the chicane, that would be quite nice. We're going to blast some ERS here, heading into the chicane. We get past Hadjar. Are we going to get the DRS? We are. So a great little move there. And we are ahead of Hadjar once again. Ooh, a little bit wide there into turn 1.
Tyre condition still looking good.
The tyres looking fine according to Mark. Let's recharge a little bit here through sector 1. This is probably the best place to do that. Ooh, we almost lose the car there. What do the tyres look like?
Okay, mate. Okay, Hadjar behind. We want to keep them behind, please. It's critical for our race.
I'm aware. I'm also trying to keep him behind. So no worries, Mark. We are sticking with Albon here. It seems like we've dropped Hadjar as well. So if we can just keep the DRS open, or the DRS gap to Hadjar, that is very nice indeed. And we are within DRS range of Alex Albon. So probably a good time to maybe settle down just a little bit, regain a little bit of composure and just take it nice and easy. And then once we pit for the first time, maybe a good time to look at getting past the Williams.
Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form.
And what a chaotic first couple of laps to this race. But we have survived so far. I say that, but every single time we head through Sector 1, it feels sketchy. At the moment, sticking with Albon, breaking away from Hadjar. Oh, we lose. We dip our tyres into the grass there, and that's not going to do us any favours. Antonelli has now made it past Hadjar, so he's going to be arriving soon. Try and take our position away from us. And if we keep making those kinds of mistakes, it's not going to help us. Tyres are starting to give away a little bit. What are we saying? Yeah, it's close to the 40s in terms of tyre wear. It's not the best at the moment, but we need to keep them for a little bit longer. At the moment, we're still keeping Antonelli at an arm's distance.
Next time.
Hard tyres set for the next pit stop. That is quite nice. That was much nicer that time around. We're back within DRS range of Albon, so this is good. We're managing this quite well. I'm really having to concentrate just a little bit here. The car with the tires is starting to get to that point where it's a little bit tricky to drive, but it's still good. Hadjar has made it past Antonelli once again. So Antonelli might be carrying a problem that is making him a little bit more vulnerable to Hadjar. I mean, I don't mind. Absolutely not. Poor exit there out of the final 2 corners. Not going to do us any favors.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.6 seconds.
We're still leading over Behrman, obviously. 6.6 seconds at the moment. That is quite a nice little gap. I completely butchered that sentence. But yeah, these mediums starting to feel okay. They're not terribly. They're not falling off the cliff as I expected they might do, but they're also not like absolutely amazing at the moment. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay, I think. We're keeping up with Albon here. He is on harder tires. The crossover should have happened at this point, so the fact that we're keeping up with the Williams is quite nice. Oh, big rumble over the curbs there. Not a good look. Let's close up to him a little bit here. I do wonder when he is scheduled to pit. So the first of the...
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
So Leclerc already into the pits. That is quite surprising. But he was on softs, it looked like. So... no surprises there, I suppose, that the softs couldn't quite go as far as they might have wanted. We're currently on lap 9. This is quite decent.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds.
If we can just extend this stint a little bit, we could maybe be on course for a 1-stop. It would be a risk. But I mean, should we not try to do it? Or should we just stick to the strategy that we have set out for us? Maybe we're going to stick to the... nah, let's actually... we're staying out one more lap.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Depending on what Albon does, obviously. We're going to cover him off, maybe, if he boxes. Okay, so he boxes. We're going to go for one more lap.
Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job. Understood. Stopping this lap.
We are boxing at the end of this one, then. Onto a set of hearts. And we'll see how far we can take them. Now they would only need to go 17 laps instead of 18. Maybe that is doable. I'm not quite sure. We will see. But that is the thought behind this extension of one lap. It is to try and maybe see if we can squeeze a one-stopper out of the tires. If the hard tires are going to be anywhere good enough for that. But that remains to be seen. At the moment we're doing quite well though.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
So we're boxing at the end of this one. instead of the previous lap, which was our scheduled lap to box. Let's not speed into the pits. There we go, 71 kph. That should be good.
Right, Ollie's coming in for his stop. Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Where is Alex? I think that might be him.
Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
That is Albon. There we go. So we didn't quite do what I thought was possible. But let's see how far we can take these tyres now. Now we just need to nurse them back home. We're trying to do a one-stopper here today. Alternatively, we have a set of softs available to us.
This is our true place here. They've pitted as well, so we've got to warm up our tyres and get the most out of it. Come on.
Alright, Mark. No worries. We have plenty of ERS to play with as well. A fresh set of tyres. Antonelli behind us on soft tyres, so he's definitely stopping again. So it seems like the two-stop is the preferred one amongst the other drivers. We're going to try something a little bit different in this one. It's going to be difficult. It's by no means going to be easy, but we're going to try it. And especially with less fuel, it's probably going to be easier as well. Here we go. Outlap completed.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
George Russell into turn one. Oh, the Mercedes comes out in a place where he's going to filter out just behind us, maybe. He's still there. And we make it ahead of Russell. So we've undercut Russell, it seems. We're not going to fight him because he is also on a set of softs. So he is...
Okay, mate, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please.
So we are going to... If Russell is going for the move, we're not going to fight it. He is going to stop again. And at the moment, I am not planning to do that. Let's see, what can George do?
Okay, so the car behind's just come in. They're now on the soft tyre. Soft tyres on the car behind.
Verstappen on a flying as well. Through 130R, George Russell, what are you doing? You crazy British driver. He tries into the chicane. And he's going to fly past us here. I think Antonelli as well might be absolutely gone here. Gonna put it into none, heading into turn one. Antonelli sticks his nose in there.
Verstappen. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Verstappen out of the race. That is not good news for Red Bull.
Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work.
And he is stopped just up ahead here. So we're going to advance one position.
Green flag.
That is going to do us a benefit here, as we get stuck on the curb once again. So lovely stuff. And all of these guys, Tsunoda, Antonelli, they're all on soft tyres. So they are boxing before the end.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
So if we are just going to be able to stay within a relatively nice distance of them, there should be no problems here. Ooh, I say that though. My goodness. We are just driving our own little race here. We are not going to know our true position before, like, the last couple of laps.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.8 seconds.
There goes Yuki Tsunoda ahead of us. We're just going to let him get past. No problems. And what about Antonelli? Where's he? He's behind us. Hamilton as well has made up a good chunk of positions, and he's currently behind us as well in P9. So good stuff from Hamilton after starting P20 in this one. Has done a good race strategy, it seems, to be able to be where he is at the moment. At the moment, excuse me, we're doing quite well. What is the tires looking like? They are looking mighty fine at the moment. So no problems there. We're doing everything that is required of us, it would seem. A 132.4. It's pretty decent, honestly, at this stage of the race. I think that might be our fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So at the moment we're doing quite well. We have broken away from Antonelli as well, so the softs might be starting to cross over. Ooh, big mistake there from us into the gravel trap once again. We're not good friends with that corner. The first of the two Degners. Albon is now holding up both Russell and Tsunoda, so he's doing us a favor here. Because at the moment, Russell, what he needs to do together with Tsunoda is try and break away from myself and Alex to try and get as big of a gap as possible for when they have to pit again. But that is not really working for the two of them at the moment. And that could end up destroying their races. Because we are keeping up with them right now.
Okay, gap ahead, 2.0 seconds.
Thank you, Mark. And people are starting to make their second stops now, it seems.
Gap to your teammate behind, 12.3 seconds.
That is one of the McLarens. Not sure which one, but it's one of them at least. We're going to take it easy through the Degner corners now. No need to risk anything, and we're catching up to Tsunoda now. Look at this. Brilliant stuff. And that also means we're catching up to Albon, because he is the one holding these guys up. Hamilton has gotten past Antonelli, so he's going to be slowly making inroads on us, maybe, or most likely. But we are within DRS range of Yuki Tsunoda ahead of us, and that is going to relieve some pressure from our shoulders as well. Whoa! Big snap there of a little bit of a twitch there heading into 130R. That could have been a race-ending crash. Whew. That was a close one. And now they're starting to fight. Russell makes it past Albon. What about Tsunoda? He doesn't make it though on this trip down this start-finish straight, and he's gonna get held up big time here. I do not know whether Albon is planning on boxing again at this stage of the race, but if he is doing us a big favor here. If we could maybe sneak past Albon as well at this stage of the race, I would very much love that. Whoa! A little bit of a slide there. Nothing too big. Almost ran into the back of Tsunoda. The dirty air is really hindering our performance through the corners. And let's not touch that inside corner curb here in 130R. Oh, why does it not brake hard enough? Why does he slow down so early? That was by no means an attempted overtake.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
We're up into P6 right now. That was a bit of a clumsy one from me, I do apologize. That was not the intention there. And we might actually convert this to a two-stopper because we are in the mix at the moment. We have 11 laps to go. No, we have 9 laps to go, so 1 or 2 laps more, we should be able to take a medium tires to the end. Let's see. Depending on what they do now, we'll have to react. We are all the way up in a very lofty P6.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Obviously not our true position. Leclerc behind us has already made his second stop. So I'm still unsure where we actually are in this Grand Prix in terms of position. And Albon boxes, alright. Let's make it past Tsunoda if we can.
Okay, you're in the dirty air of the car in front, let's get past them.
Not quite sure we can do that. Okay, you're within 1
second of the car ahead, get ready to use DRS for the overtake.
So he's going to box at some point.
Okay mate, Tsunoda ahead. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push, push.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Not through the corners, thank you. And Hamilton has boxed as well for his second stop. Now, we're sticking it out. It should be possible. We have 8 laps to go. Tyres are not feeling too bad. And they still have to catch like a 25-second gap plus traffic. So we are sticking it out on this one. And we'll see what that brings. I'm expecting Russell and Tsunoda to head into the pits at the end of this one. Let's see whether I am correct in that assessment. There we go. Yeah, both of them into the pits. So we're going to be up in a very lofty P3.
Tsunoda is stopping now. Great stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. There's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down. Box, box. We're coming in this lap.
No, we're not. We are doing a one-stop. Ollie is into the pits.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now.
I don't think we're going to be able to keep Leclerc behind us for the podium. But I mean, a P4 is still going to be massive for Haas. if we could bring home this little trick we have pulled out of our sleeve.
And gap to the car in front, 11.1 seconds.
Both McLarens out in front. We're not anywhere close to them. But a strategic masterclass from, I want to say, the team and myself here. The tyre wear has been absolutely helping us here today. And look at that. We have an Alpine and a Williams behind us. Probably not going to fight too hard on Leclerc here, depending on how much. Nah, he is so much faster than us. So we're going to let the Monegasque driver go. And we're going to settle in and try and scrape home a P4 here. With just shy of 6 laps to go, or 7 laps. And we'll see what we can do. Gasly and Sainz are both on softs. So that's going to be... Oh, but they have stopped. They have made a second stop very, very late on in this race. So Tsunoda is the next car behind us. He is 19 seconds behind. And unless he is absolutely flying, or we make a mistake, I don't think he's catching us. So we might be looking at a very solid P4 here today for the team. This is incredible if this goes through. But we still have quite a few laps to go, and the tyre wear is only going to get worse as the laps tick down. But let's see what we can do. What is the tyre wear looking like? It's actually very decent. Tyre wear is actually pretty decent at the moment. So we are under no threat on that front. And we just need to keep pumping in some decent laps, which we are doing at the moment. The reason why I'm also flicking the ERS deployment into 0 or none, heading through the S's, it usually also helps a little bit with the tyre wear. So that's also part of the strategy. As Tsunoda posts the fastest lap time, it's closed up by just shy of 3 seconds. So he is rapidly approaching, but I don't think he's fast enough. That remains to be seen though. Let's see. We have clumsy bit of driving there. Still haven't really figured out how that hairpin works, or how to take it really. We're doing good right now. We're doing solid. They are closing in though. You can see them there on the minimap. But we just need to focus on our own pace. Nothing else is going to help us. And this one stopper could prove very, very
Okay, so gap
fruitful.
To the car ahead, 4.8 seconds.
And at the moment we are doing very solidly here. Hopefully the car will be able to keep it all the way to the checkered flag. I would love that. Yeah, but look at Antonelli, he is, or Tsunoda, sorry, he is closing with rapid footsteps. So there might be a little bit of a fight coming towards the tail end of this one. Tires are starting to give way. I can feel it now. We are over the 40% or the 45% mark. So we're gonna have to start managing the tires. 4 laps to go at the end of this one.
Pit now, pit now.
We are in no troubles just yet. At the beginning here of lap 24, the gap is 11.7 seconds to Yuki Tsunoda behind us. He is closing seconds a lap, which were to be expected. But the question is whether he is going to be closing enough to actually get the overtake done on us as well. That we will see. At the moment we're just nursing the tires, nursing our pace, doing everything that is required of us to have the best chance of actually coming away with a very solid P4. And even if we were to drop 2 positions, that would still be very good points for the team. So I would by no means be unhappy with that. But finishing P4, I mean, that would tie up with the best finishing position that the team has ever achieved.
In this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
So that is obviously something we are going to be very proud of if we can make this work. We're setting competitive lap times at the moment. We're not losing that much time over the course of the last couple of laps. The progress from Tsunoda has started to subside a little bit. And it's not as much time loss, as big of a time loss as it was just after he pitted. Maybe the softs are starting to already
keep
wear
an eye on
out.
that gap ahead, please.
Whoa.
9.3 seconds.
Oh no!
Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay.
Oh no! And that Deckner corner that has plagued us all the way through this race. Oh my days. Oh no. Oh, that's such a shame as well. We were running so well.
Out of the last corner for the last time, Lando Norris is victorious.
What a shame. What a catastrophe. There was not that many laps to go as well.
Start of potentially something special, but they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. It's a long way to go.
But I guess with the tyre wear and with the track losing grip, maybe because of the temperature.
The top 3 drivers work so hard today, and they climb onto the podium.
Not the way we would have wanted to end this one.
Holds the trophy aloft.
But Lando Norris wins from Piastri and Leclerc. McLaren with a 1-2. Solid job from them. And we were so close. No. Oh. So close. Ah, that's really annoying. That's so annoying. No. After, what was it? It was so many laps that we did that were perfect almost.
After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Yeah, and that's a retirement from us. We were running so well. We still get classified though, but oh man. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. And Bearman, unfortunately, not high up enough or lofty enough in the positions that he would have benefited from it. So it's going to be no points from the Japanese Grand Prix weekend for Haas, unfortunately. Oh, that's so annoying. We lose a little bit of pace and a little bit of focus, but overall we do gain a little bit on all fronts. We are now equal to Bearman within the team. That is nice to see. But how those points would have done so nicely after such a tough Grand Prix. We would have had P4, I'm pretty sure. We would have been right there. Anyway, that is the first proper mistake of our season, I want to say. We do get a little bit of upgrades though, so that is quite nice, but I did see one that failed, and that was the aerodynamics one. And more things, and we're just going to get it before the Saudi Grand Prix. Is there any more? Oh, so upgrades completed, and now we have unlocked some new upgrades. Okay. That's quite interesting. So now we have new paths to upgrade. The rear floor under tray. And that would be just before the Miami Grand Prix. I think we should do that one. That would be quite nice. So, unfortunately, we don't get the full upgrade package ahead of the next race. We can see there is some more upgrades coming just on the same day as the Bahrain Grand Prix. But we also have a secret meeting. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, it's Williams who have come knocking to try and get our expertise. And at the moment, I mean, they're quite far down. I'm quite happy to be with Haas. So I'm going to decline politely here. And stay loyal to the team. So there we go. But let's see what...
Hey, just a quick one for me.
Yes!
The team are pleased that you've declined that meeting. Gold star, brownie points, etc., etc. I guess we'll see if anything else more exciting comes calling. But let's focus on our current seat for now.
Absolutely. And the reason why I was celebrating so much was that we get another 2 upgrades just before the Bahrain Grand Prix. So now we are currently just behind Aston Martin. And we are very close to being the 5th best team when it comes to development. So that is very, very nice. Let's look at the progress we have made. Yeah, we jumped ahead of VCARB in the previous one, so that's quite nice. We have some upgrades underway as well. They're minor upgrades, but I mean they still unlock so much potential for the car. And hopefully soon we are going to be fighting amongst some of the more fun competition, just to be sure that we are all on the same page. AI difficulty still at 107, so even though we were running quite lofty at the Japanese Grand Prix, I mean, it is still on that AI difficulty level. We dropped to P8 in the Drivers' Championship. Tsunoda makes it ahead of us, purely based on the fact that he has finished in a higher position than we have. As for the constructors, we get close down by Williams. The gap is now 2 points. So we need to start performing. And I would very much like if Bearman as well could maybe have a good race weekend not too far into the future. He is currently 17th in the standings with 0 points to his name. And all of the 14 points that Haas have scored are because of us so far. But hopefully with the upgrades we will start to see Bearman improve on his race results as well. That would be very nice indeed. But an unfortunate end to a very solid weekend, it has to be said. We were set for what could potentially have been a very, very welcomed P4. Unfortunately, the Degner 1 that has been plaguing us throughout the entirety of the weekend ended up taking away what would have been a record equally finishing positions. So that's very, very unfortunate. We're just going to have to go again. Next up is the Bahrain Grand Prix for round 4. And we are still well and truly amongst the midfield in terms of our pace. I might even consider upping the difficulty to 108% for the upcoming races to see how that goes. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, unfortunate end to a very solid weekend overall. But we go again next time out. Bahrain, again, not one of my favorites, but it's not too bad. We should be good around here. And very unlikely that we're going to see any weather changes. So it's probably going to be a dry weekend all the way through. Similarly, once we go to round 5 in Saudi Arabia. So we are well and truly underway with the season now. And I would highly suggest that if you enjoy the content, make sure you like, subscribe, and to not miss any future live streams. Also make sure that you have the bell notification activated, such that once I go live, you will get a notification. But I think we're going to leave it here. I want to thank everyone who's been watching today for watching live, and for everyone who's watching post-stream. I also thank you for watching. I wish you all a blessed day, and until we see each other again, have a good one.